The coolest thing about relationship over religion is that it's an opportunity to make a statement. People have a relationship with God, and a lot of times they feel as though it's not something worthy of being talked about because they don't necessarily fit the box of religion. And so what I wanted to do was give people the opportunity to make a statement. Like, I believe just like you. It may not look like what you expected it to look like, but I believe. I know God is real. I know He's there. I talk to Him. And be able to encourage people to begin to have a certain kind of dialogue that says, how do I find Him? And then put people in positions who know how to help people figure it out, to be accountable for some of these souls, man. There's so many people that are out here lost, and they don't have the access to or opportunity to make a statement like I believe. Sometimes if people had the ability to make that kind of statement, then maybe somebody will reach out to them and encourage their walk. Too often we let people go along by the wayside. We don't really care or put the necessary effort into making sure that every soul is accounted for. Nobody's lost or left in the process because we're so busy trying to make sure that the box of religion and all the check marks are taken care of. Every T is crossed, every I is dotted. And sometimes relationships in every form of fashion, they get messy. But God is a God that'll get messy right along with you. He'll come into your mess. And this is the opportunity to make a statement on top of the fact that we have a fatherless generation of people that are looking for somebody to give them identity, but they don't know where to go. They don't know who to turn to. This is, in any relationship, dialogue is necessary. And being a father, I know my responsibility is to give my kids identity. But I know that the ultimate father is the one who gave me my identity. So this is also a way for people to really incline their heart to the greatest father there is. That's God. Maybe they're looking and they're lost and they don't know how to find what it is they're looking for. But when you begin to ask the right question to the right person, you get the right answer. And so this is really just an opportunity for people to express their faith, but also further their faith, deepen their relationship, and really begin to know what that small, still voice sounds like. So many times people are waiting to hear that small, still voice, and they don't know what they're listening for because they don't know the sound of the voice, because they don't talk to them. My kids only know my voice because I talk to them. They talk to me. They have the desire to hear my voice and understand that it's me, and they know my voice in different moments. When it's a great time, there's a different inflection in my voice. When it's time for correction or discipline, there's a different inflection in my voice. And once you're able to understand what season you're in with God and discern His voice, you'll know if it's correction or celebration. But He'll affirm, He'll correct, He'll chastise, He'll love. These are all the dynamics of being in a solid relationship with God. So what we really want to do is help people identify God, identify themselves, and really begin to go forward with Him. And it doesn't have to look like what they think it has to look like. You can be creative in your relationship. My relationship with my wife is dope because we're creative in how we express our love towards each other. So why would God gift us with the ability to be creative in our expression, but then limit how we express our relationship with Him? I don't think that that's something that can be taught. Some things you own as you grow. It's good relationships are the most organic thing that we can do. When we really, like, it's in the beginning, you get the warm and fuzzies, and that's kind of how it is with God. You talk to Him and He responds, and it's great. And then you get the rough patches because now you're not necessarily doing everything that He likes or everything that He wants, but you have such a great desire to please Him, so you make necessary changes so that He's satisfied. But while you're making adjustments, He's doing the same thing because we're in relationship together. And it grows and it becomes this beautiful thing. And then it goes from conversation to covenant. And the next thing you know, you're really living this thing out. And it's not because anybody coerced you or anybody pushed you in a certain direction. You just organically let it be what it was supposed to be. This is how we get to the broader aspect of the relationship as it pertains to relationship over religion. Yes, we're supposed to go to church. Yes, we're supposed to serve in our community. But how do we have a desire to do that without understanding why we're doing it? I think a lot of times in churches and in ministry, they miss the opportunity to explain to this generation why it matters. It's not because we're just telling you to do it, but without really having an authentic relationship with God, you'll never know why. My relationship with my wife matters, and with my kid matters because I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I do the things I'm doing because we're trying to build a legacy. I do the things I'm doing because I'm trying to encourage them to be the best version of themselves possible. But it's only because they hear me and they know the sound of my voice. As we go further, and the Bible even says it, that when my sheep hear my voice, they come running. The sheep don't know the master's voice without being in conversation with him prior to. They know the sound, but they can't come because they can't identify where he is. And so we really want to be able to show people that this is about God leaving the 99 for the one. This is about the ones who didn't fit the box, the ones who weren't the highest thought of, the ones that weren't necessarily considered for those positions, but they're anointed for it. How do you access what's inside of you without knowing where it came from? There's so much greatness in people that'll probably be unlocked over the next few years and over time as life goes, but it's only through relationship. The only reason that I'm able to do the things I do is because I allowed God to unlock what was in me, and that came through prayer, through conversation, through reading the Word, fasting, being everything that He called me to be. It's time for people to really fall back in love with God. The Bible says we return back to our first love, and that's what this is really about. Identifying your first love, man. The first love, that awesome relationship. You never forget those things. You don't forget how it started. You don't forget even how it ended. There's so many things that you remember, and I think that's what we're really trying to do, is push a dialogue where an entire generation changes and everybody just falls in love with God simply for who He is. That's what this brand means to me. Relationship over religion.